Hey now, today I am going to make some white chocolate macadamia nut sourdough. It's one of my favorite cookies and I want to see how that translates into a sourdough loaf. So what I've got here is filtered water. I'm going with 75% hydration on that. For the dough, I'm just using, this is 500 grams of white baker's flour. I'm going to go with 4% of vanilla extract because I think that might play nicely with the white chocolate. And then I've got 20% of macadamia. Well, it said pieces and chunks. They all look like they're in about halves. I'm going to mix it in now because the white chocolate chips are going to go in during the lamination, and I don't want to be trying to add too much stuff at that point. So I'll add these in right now. I'm just going to mix this up for a few minutes until everything's fully incorporated, and we will check on it then. So here we are, all fully incorporated. I'm going to just cover this up and I'm going to let it sit for an hour or two until my leaven is ready. Okay, so this is the dough after a couple of hours hanging out. It actually smells remarkably like cookie dough because of that vanilla that's in there. That's fantastic. So here's my leaven. It's all nice and pillowy and ready to go in. If you want to check my video on how I like to make my leaven, you can go ahead. As it is, I'm going to add 125 grams of leaven to this, and well, it's about half of what I need. This is always the worst part, trying to measure it out. Oh, exactly, 125. Awesome. 25% leaven based on the baker's percentage. So I'm just going to moisten my fingers here and my hands with some filtered water. And then I'm just going to incorporate this, probably take 2 to 3 minutes to do that, and we'll see what she looks like when it's done. All right, so that's been just about 3 minutes there. That leaven is all very nice and incorporated, so I'm going to cover this up, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then we will add some salt. All right, so after half an hour of letting the leaven kind of start to work in there, I'm going to add the fine sea salt, and this is 1.8%. I'm just going to, again, moisten my fingers with some filtered water and work this in, probably over the course of about 2 minutes. Let's see what it looks like afterwards. All right, so that was, about 2 minutes getting that salt in there. So I'm going to cover this again for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back for stretch and fold. So after 30 minutes of just letting this continue to rise a little bit, I'm just going to do our first stretch and fold. So I'm just going to stretch it up gently. Do 4 of these. Rotating 90 degrees each time, and 1 more. Of course, I moistened my hands with my filtered water again, just results in a little bit less dough getting stuck to me. So just kind of give it a little pat down, cover it up, and then we'll wait another 30 minutes. All right, so here we are after half an hour. I'm going to now perform a lamination on it. So I'm just going to spray down my work surface here just with some filtered water out of a spray bottle. I'm going to moisten my hands with some more filtered water and just gently scoop out the dough. And with the lamination here, the trick is just trying to stretch it out until it reaches a nice, somewhat flatter rectangle, which, depending on the type of bread you're making, sometimes is more difficult than others. This is kind of funny here just because I've got these giant chunks of macadamia nut in there. Definitely slowing the process down. Plus the dough is still reasonably elastic, so it keeps trying to pull back. And you're trying to do this gently so as not to eliminate a whole lot of air and stuff like that might be in the dough. Okay, I'm going to keep playing with this for a minute. When we come back, you'll see it all stretched out. All right, so that didn't take me too much longer. I just wanted to get that all done here quickly. Now I've got my white chocolate chips here, okay, and it works out to 40% of the chocolate, white chocolate chips. And I'm just going to sprinkle a bunch of them into the middle strip here. Then I'm going to take the dough and fold it over. So it's a third of it there. And I'm going to fold over on top of it this way, so I'm just going to get some more chips into here. This is a really nice way to get any kind of solid addition of some sort and get it into your dough mixed in fairly evenly. And a little bit more here, just like so. Fold that up over top. And just the last of them right on the very top here. And pull this back up on top. A nice little pat down. And I'm going to pop this back into the bowl. Give it another half hour, and then we shall begin some coil folds. All right, so after that 30 minutes, it is time for the first of some coil folds here. So I'm just going to lift that side up, let it, oh, there's my kid. Let it tuck underneath. Same thing there. And just kind of pat it down now. And I'm going to do another 2 or 3 of these, just kind of depending what it looks like after the third one. So yeah, I'll cover it up, let it sit for 30 minutes, and it's 30 minutes in between each of those coil folds. Okay, so I gave this 4 coil folds with a half an hour in between each, and then a half hour rest afterwards. And now I am ready to pre-shape. So I'm just flouring my hands. I'm going to scoop it out gently. And then a little more flour here. Just try and do a little quick pre-shape. I just lost a chip. Put it back in there. It's a little sloppy, but it will be just fine here. Just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to cover this up and give it probably 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and then we will do the final shape and get it ready. All right, I gave this 10 minutes, and I'm just going to do a quick final shape and then get it into the banneton. So I have that with the liner in it, and I've already applied some rice flour to it, just to help prevent sticking. I'm going to add a little bit to the loaf itself and just plunk it in here. I'm going to top these. There we go. Throw these extra chips in here too. All right, so I'm just going to cover this up and get it in the fridge overnight, and tomorrow morning we will bake. All right, so it is the next morning. I've got the oven preheated at 500 degrees. It's been like that for about 45 minutes. The bread is here. It's ready to go. Now, because of all this chocolate and stuff on here, I'm going to add a little extra rice flour on what's going to be the bottom of the bread. I'm going to quickly flip it here. You'll see, yeah, just add a touch of rice flour to the top. I'm going to score it, which can be a little bit difficult when you have these hard chocolate chips in here. So just do it slowly and carefully. And I'm going to pop it into the oven, cover up with the combo cooker that's preheated along with the oven here. And once I've got this lid on, I'm going to reduce it to 440 and give it 30 minutes. All right, so after half an hour, I'm just going to pop that off. Now, because this is a rather sugar-rich bread, I'm going to pop this off of the cast iron and just let it sit directly on the grate, and I'm going to give it probably, I'll check on it in 20 minutes at 430. Okay, so after about 24 minutes, here is the bread. I'm going to just pop that out and leave this here for a couple of hours, let it cool down. Oh, listen to that sizzle. And then we will cut into it and check her out. All right, so we've had some time to cool down here. Let's slice into it and see how it looks. Oh yeah, so you got those nice big chunks of macadamia nut in there, and then the white chocolate chips. We definitely need to try and see what this tastes like here. I'm very excited. I just love the white chocolate chips and sourdough. It's just such an awesome flavor. So soft and moist. You get the beautiful white chocolate chips in there and that nice like subtle crunch of the macadamia nuts. This is awesome. This is just like the cookie. Exactly what I was hoping for. So yeah, till next time, keep her at 11.